G'day fellas, welcome to a casted game between Daut, who spawns in the east of the map, playing the English, and his opponent, spawning in the west of the map. It's the Viper, and he is playing the French. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm incredibly excited to be able to bring this game for you, to you. The French are, at the moment, in my opinion, one of the strongest civilizations, and we've got Viper on them. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what he's going to have in store for us today. We are, of course, on the map Arabia. We'll take a look at the quick little spawn, see how balanced it is. It actually looks like a very balanced spawn today. You can see gold mines are relatively fair. Hunts are very, very fair. Both of them spawning on the north side, the close and the far hunt. So, interesting to note, it's going to be very easy to expand. Both players have got relatively fair berries, with the exception of a front berries for Daut, but nonetheless, that's not too bad. There are other things he's got going for him. He's got a back stone. I mean, Viper's stone is a little bit, I guess you could say it's a little bit back, but Daut looking like he's lost his way right here. Viper gotta be careful though. I don't know exactly what Daut was doing right there, but Daut probably would have had vision of these sheep if he was paying attention. So maybe he got a phone call or something at the time. Viper gonna be picking up a lot of sheep. The last game that we saw from Viper, I did actually crown him the shepherd. Just because of how many sheep he managed to pick up. It was a little bit ludicrous. I think he got up to something like 29 sheep in the last game that we watched him play, but doing a pretty decent job this game as well. We'll take a look at his scouting path, see how he's done. So he's gone in a scouting path like that, just out and around, nothing too crazy, coming back in time before his starting sheep do run out. Now keep in mind he is playing the French, going with the standard 8-2-2 opening. There's also an 8-2-3 opening that you can do, where you've got 3 villages on gold, a little bit faster, a little bit less on the economic side to do it that way, because it is a faster age up, but nonetheless it's still pretty decent. We'll take a look over at his opponent over at Daut, see how Daut is doing, and no doubt Daut is doing absolutely just fine. Going to be aging up once again with the 2 villages on gold as well. Probably going to be dropping down that council hall any second now. Base building leaves a little bit to be desired, and one of the things to note, he's already dropped down a mill over here on this patch of berries, so already beginning to transition over onto berries this early in the game. Now, it is important to note that berries in Age of Empires 4 do gather slower than sheep. They do gather slower than deer, so it's one of those things to be cognizant of. And I guess I will just say that it's almost a little bit of a bad spawn that his forest has spawned like this towards the front, because it kind of blocks, you know, the pathway to the deer. If you were to compare that to Viper, like, it's very easily accessible to him. There's no real blockage, if that makes sense. Whereas, you know, he's got this out the front. They've actually, you know what, they've both got insanely good spawns now that I think about it, with the exception of like golds, which are out the front. But yeah, that's about it. Now, these 2 landmarks that both players are aging up with, so the council hall, I would say this is an S tier landmark. I'm going to be doing a tier list of landmarks. The council hall undoubtedly is going to be an S tier, and another S tier landmark is going to be the School of Cavalry. And the reason why these 2 landmarks are so strong is because they provide you an economic bonus in the early game. And you might be like, okay, but Drongo, they just train units. Exactly. This is 150 wood you don't have to put into a stable because you get one. This right here, this is 300 wood that you don't have to put into archery ranges because you've got the council hall. So they're economic bonuses. It's like, you know, it's basically like aging up and then getting 300 wood delivered to your town center, and then just making 2 archery ranges that normally take 30 seconds to build, is it? Yeah, 30 seconds to build, so it's like 30 seconds, so 60 villager seconds that you're losing there as well. It's a huge amount of investments, and it's up immediately. This is the big thing. It is up straight away. So already we can see Viper is already up and straight away training Royal Knights. This is the thing. You don't have to wait. Right now, these villagers, normally, they would have to be sitting here tapping away at the stable, but he doesn't have to. He just goes straight into it, and this buys tempo. This buys aggression. He's able to get this knight out. This knight, if this knight gets to here right before the first archer comes out, or even as the first archer's coming out, Viper is going to be in such a good position. Going to be in an absolutely insane position, because he can literally just kill every single knight. For Daut to defend that, he would most likely need to drop a tower here so that he could somewhat daisy chain defensive, because I don't think his town center is going to be able to reach. It does actually say the town center range is quite large here. I don't know if that's actually range or line of sight, or I think this might be range here. So we can already see the longbowmen now beginning to come out. We take a look at Viper. Viper going to be coming around the back instead of going directly into the front. I don't think he's got line of sight of this location with the landmark just yet. It's hard to know, but now going to be continuing to train out those Royal Knights early into the game. We see that Daut's actually keeping tabs on this. He is watching. He might not know that this is not the first knight. He may think this is the first knight, and then he's going to have a bit of a surprise over here as the other knight from Viper comes in. We'll take a look and spot how well Daut reacts to this and whether he picks it up straight away. There are a couple more villages up here to the north, and it looks like Viper's going to be heading around, but that we hear that town bell go off, and straight away Daut is on top of it, pulling those villagers back. Going to be able to repel that Royal Knight and not have too many issues. He's actually just going to slay the sheep and then just get out. That is a very smart move. That's going to prevent the sheep from being rounded up by the scout here. But now, at the same time, down towards the south, it looks like a villager is going to be going down. Viper doing a pretty decent job here, managing to get down that villager, not take too much damage on his Royal Knight. And even if he does take a lot of damage on the Royal Knight, it's important to remember that the French do have access to the special technology, chivalry. The chivalry technology, it's going to be reducing the amount of time, or rather, it's going to be enabling you to actually heal. And oh my lord, the Royal Knight, it's going to go down right here. It's going to go down. The Royal Knight actually goes down. So Daut turning around and just picking up 14 villagers and saying, you know what, I've had enough of you, mate. And literally fires upon the Royal Knight, killing it. And so it actually renders the whole concept of this technology useless, because this technology is available in the Second Age. And initially, you're like, yeah, it's fine if I lose a lot of health on my units, because I'm just going to get chivalry and I'm going to be fine because it's going to heal me up over time. But Daut has actually defended very effectively against Viper in the early game. We take a quick stock take. We can see Viper is on 27 villagers right now, and compare that over to Daut, who's on 25. So not too bad. He's lost one villager. And obviously French train villagers faster than their English counterparts, but now we see a second town center going to get dropped down for Daut relatively early at the 7-minute mark. So Daut's happy. He's held for the moment. He can't go any earlier than this. If he tried to drop an early town center, he would get absolutely destroyed by early knights. So he's done the right thing, but now going to be able to move out, expand here, and a really decent expansion location. All those arrows coming out at the same time. Look at them all. Shredding through that Royal Knight. Doesn't have its +1 upgrade just yet, but Daut looking pretty decent. I'm definitely happy if I was him in this position, considering that I've opened longbows and I've somehow managed to survive. You know, the one big thing that sort of kept him in the game here was the fact that that knight just ran into line of sight right here at the north, and it alerts you because you hear that bell. It goes ding, 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 which is a very, very, you know, it's a great thing to have as the English, but you know, that enabled him to pull back those villagers and keep them alive. He did lose one down on the south, on the southern gold mine, but still a decent job. Forestry now coming in for Daut as well. We'll take a look at his other upgrades, see what he's got. Nothing else in the way of upgrades, it doesn't look like. Yeah, no other upgrades, just that forestry upgrade at this point in time. I don't think we've got, yeah, no other upgrades coming in for his longbows either. We'll take a look over at the perspective of Viper. We'll see exactly what he's up to. We can actually see that chivalry tech is in because of that little healing sign that you can see above the knight as it runs around. You will notice on the UI that the health is slowly but steadily going up. And once again, this mining camp, it's essentially useless now for Daut. Eventually he will come back to it, maybe in the Third Age if he wants to drop down a castle or something like that. But he's got his second town center up. He's very, very happy. Villager now going to be potentially going down here. Definitely going to be going down. First villager going to be going down. Second villager probably going to be going down here as well, and managing to repel this. Still no +1 armor yet for these guys. And Viper now going to actually have enough resources to go up to the next age. We'll take a look and see exactly what he's going to be going up with. And he goes up with the Royal Institute here, which is, I will say, it's quite rare to actually see people go up with the Royal Institute. In one of the things that we are seeing in the meta, at least at my level at the moment, is games are lasting for a little bit longer than usual. And so by having, instead of the Royal Institute, I think it's called the Guild Hall. I'm not 100% sure, but it is very effective because once you get to the late game, you can keep that bad boy on stone or gold or one of those resources that's really hard to come by, and you're going to be able to just trickle it in. I remember I played a game earlier today and I got myself 3,000 gold from that, literally out of thin air. I mean, when I say it's out of thin air, it's a landmark that you're taking advantage of, that you wouldn't have, you know, there's an opportunity cost there. So it's not like it just comes out of nothing. And now we've got a little bit of a push right now. Daut going to be picking off one villager. Second villager going to be going down here as well. Third villager going to get picked off as well. And Daut very happy with himself. And take a look at that absolutely beautiful landmark right there. The Royal Institute. Isn't it just absolutely amazing? Viper now coming back with a couple of his Royal Knights. Going to be looking to clean up. The first scout going to be going down and now just trying to do his best to take out the rest of these longbowmen. He still doesn't have that +1 attack, but now more Knights going to be coming back. I don't think he's going to be able to get this one out safely. We'll see if he manages to do it. First volley, second volley is going to take it down. He does try and micro it, but unfortunately these arrows are homing missiles, my friend, and unfortunately it means that they don't miss. They don't miss, even if you do cute little dodges like that. But I did like the fact that he tried. Going to be able to get that Royal Knight out, though, undoubtedly. Managing to keep that one alive. So Viper now up to the 3rd age. When it comes to his economy, he does not have a second town center up just yet. So one of the things to remain cognizant of is he's on 32 villages. He did lose about, what was it, 3 or 4 villages here. And in addition to that, he is only on a single town center. We compare that over to his opponent, Daut, who isn't thinking about the 3rd age at the moment, just thinking about staying in age 2. But one of the things to note is he is on 44 villages, he's on 2 town centers, so he is on a much better trajectory when it comes to his economy. Now, the difficult thing for him is that he's going up against Knights. Viper also making a forward siege workshop, going to be dropping down a Manganelle as well. This is not something I expected. Manganelles are incredibly expensive in Age of Empires 4. 400 wood, 200 gold, you can see right there. And really not going to be having too much of an issue. Viper now just doing a little bit of a circle. Does he spot this out? I don't think he actually spots this one out. Doesn't have any scouts out on the map. He's got a couple of villages, and Viper now going to be repelled there. But one of the things to note now that he's got the upgrades through for the Royal Knights, they are veteran Royal Knights, so they do get that +4 armor against the longbow, so their longbows are only going to be doing 2 damage. They used to be doing 3 damage, but now Daut going to be moving in, looking to pick off some more villagers. There's the first villager going to be going down. Second villager almost goes down, but a veteran Royal Knight gets out on top of these longbows and going to be having a bit of a field day here. Viper's still yet to have his upgrade, no textile upgrade just yet. Scout on the back line, finding a couple of villagers, but nothing special. Now the Manganelle beginning to siege down the town center. We can see it doesn't do a whole lot of damage though. And Viper going to be easily able to clean up these longbowmen here at this point. But we'll take a look back at the front line because this is where the action's really going to be unfolding. Viper now moving in underneath the town center. Keep in mind, this is not a capital town center. This is not going to be able to hold all of these villages here. And Daut having a bit of a difficult time because he's able to garrison 10 villages here. But you can see that there's more villages that just sit out here, gathering these villagers, having to go home. And as a result, it means that Viper picks up plenty of kills. We take a look at the score right now, the population. We've got 37 population to his opponent who's on 50. So still keeping within, you know, a distance. Manganelle also continuing to siege down, taking about 700 HP. Now keep in mind, very easy for these villagers to just come over and heal this town center up. Unless there's a trebuchet that's actually taking it down, it's going to be very, very hard. Viper now picking up a couple more kills on the back line as well. You see those big lancers out looking to kill those villagers, not managing to connect, but it looks like another one is going to go down. No, Viper does manage to fall back, but Manganelle now going to be retreating. Let's see if Viper manages to get a shot off on it. There was like a bit of an animation cancel there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. And we see just how much damage gets done right there to those longbows. Got to be so careful. 3 Manganelle shots should one-shot all of them, but you can just see how much damage happens right there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 longbows that get taken out, and just so little damage. Only 8 armor on these guys compared to the 7 damage. So these guys are literally doing 1 damage. Technically, they should be healing him, doing -1 damage. More Knights on the backline now for Viper, having an absolute field day here against Daut, continuing to siege down this town center at the front. Do we see another Manganelle coming out? We do see a second Manganelle coming out. And Viper really just laying into Daut at this point. 36 damage coming out onto this poor villager running back towards the town center and saying, "Mommy." Not really, but you guys get the picture. And Daut now beginning to come out. I feel like he's picking... This is not the fight you want to be picking, Daut. Manganelles beat longbows quite handedly. And Viper actually looked like he focused ground right there, and Daut faked him out just a little bit. But Viper still on 1 town center at this point. Daut on 50 villagers. A couple of villagers now moving forward, and this is the 100% the right move to do right here. So, these are spearmen rather than villagers. These guys have much greater siege than the longbows do. Longbows are going to be firing in range, and you can see that they do have that 7 range damage versus the 8 armor. Whereas these guys have got torches. So these torches that they throw, they're going to be doing a lot better. But villager now out, going to be doing a bit of healing. I like that from Viper, getting out into the action. We don't see any more Manganelle coming out just yet. Viper actually getting repelled somewhat over here, but now going to be cleaning up. Daut in a little bit of a difficult spot because Viper's going to be able to get these knights in on top of him at the same time. It looks like an upgrade's just come through, Iron Undermesh, so going to be giving that +1 ranged armor, but a bit curious considering you're getting... oh, Daut. He's getting +1 ranged armor, but he's fighting against cavalry and siege. That is not the armor that you want, Daut. That is not the armor that you want. Well, at least he's got +1 attack, or at least I think he's got +1 attack. Yes, he does have +1 attack. We'll take a look over at Viper. We'll see what he's up to, whether he's dropped down a 2nd town center just yet, or whether he's just going... you know, going solo. It looks like he's still going solo, though, at this point. Up to 46 villagers. Compare that over to his opponent, who is sitting at 53 villagers. So economies have evened up quite steadily. We take a look at scores. Scores still looking pretty decent. Less than 200 between these two players. And Viper going to have no problem cleaning this up right now. Manganelle shot managing to get onto those longbows. And we just see how much damage they're taking. And Viper in a really decent spot, but now the macro is going out the window for Daut, sitting on 1,200 gold at this point, and the question is, what is he going to be able to do with it? Because he's stuck in the 2nd age. No real answer at this point to Manganelle's other than scouts. Scout is the key. So if you just make a whole bunch of scouts from your town center or any stables or anything like that, that's going to enable you to actually siege these down. But now you've got a bit of a difficult problem because you've got the trebuchet, which is on the back line, and it's going to begin sieging away at this town center, and you just see how much damage gets done to this town center. It's going to be burning at the same time. Villagers managing to heal it up. But the question is how much longer is it going to take? Because you can see that it's just taking away all of that wood. They are managing to actually heal effectively against it. So we'll have to look and see whether a 2nd Manganelle potentially comes out. And look at all of the farms going down from that Manganelle. Incredibly effective against those farms. Daut now has enough resources to get up to the next age. Viper doing his best just to defend his Manganelle and his siege. Really not a lot of units here for this push. This is a very AoE 2-esque push. It's just a couple of siege units here. You know, they're really not waiting for the units to build up or the masses to build up. A couple of scouts up here as well for Viper. Really nice line of sight that he's got. More villagers now moving down towards this south side where the gold mine is. I love this from him. It's really, really smart of him to move down here. He is holding most of the aggro from this point, defending this point, so it's going to be a lot safer than, say, somewhere up here, which could be susceptible to raids in the late game. Whereas right now, you know, the majority of the attention is over on this part of the map, so it's going to be quite easy. But now, once again, I'm curious exactly why Daut is doing this. He still doesn't have +1 melee armor at this point. Oh my lord. So we've just lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 longbows going down right there. Poor Daut. Poor Daut. He's having a bit of a tough game. Now a 2nd Manganelle rolls in. This is where it gets tough. So you've got 2 options now that you've reached the 3rd age. The first one is almost 100% the best option to go, and that is Springwoods. Insufficient wood. You see it right there, going down to actual -1 wood. Villagers getting killed by the Manganelle shots. Manganelle's firing off at the farms as well as off on the houses. So Springwoods are what he wants to be going for, but he just doesn't really have the resources right now. You can see he's having a bit of a difficult time. Only 51 villagers. We turn over to the Viper. Viper sitting on 55 now. So managing to even up the score despite his enemy sitting on that all-important 2 TC boom. Viper now focusing in on the longbows. Does he manage to get the shot? Oh my lord, he takes out 6 longbows right there. Viper now beginning to push out as well and just getting so much value from these Manganelles. A 3rd Manganelle is going to begin rolling in at this point, and we'll take a look at the... what do we want? We want this one right here, the cinematic mode. The 3rd Manganelle rolling in now, and the town center does look like it goes down the way of the dodo. That was the best cinematic mode I could do for you guys. I mean, other than like potentially following this guy and like, yeah, go little shield man. He's not going to achieve much. He is not going to achieve much. 3 Manganelles, it's the key amount. Bam. 3 Manganelles is the one-shot amount. That's what you want. Once you get to 3 Manganelles, you don't want more than that. You don't want less than that. Oh no, on the villagers. Oh no, on the villagers. Oh, oh my lord. Who needs to raid with cavalry? You just raid with Manganelles like Viper does. Oh my. Alright, well, I think you and I can both safely say that at this point, the game has well and truly been called. Viper being victorious, taking down his teammate, Daut, in an incredible game. Thank you so much for watching this game. If you've enjoyed watching, make sure you leave a like. If you think I missed something, make sure you leave a comment. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.